From overseas and underworld, it's the Crypt Keeper News Network. Good evening, creeps.
In the news tonight, Wolfman bites dog. Vampires say life sucks. Mummy takes the rap after years in denial. And illiterate zombies insist they're better dead than red. This just in. And our top story tonight is a nasty little soundbite about an ambulance-chasing lawyer who's about to bleed the toughest case of her life. I call it, let the punishment fit the crime. Talk about trial and terror. Still, I think Jerry will do just fine. I mean, aside from the occasional attack of motion sickness. And now it's time for business news. So, Chip, what happened on the shock exchanges today? Oh, sorry. Looks like it's time for the Spurts report instead. Oh, boy. I see your raise, and I call. Bleed 'em and weep. Spades beat hearts every time. Oh, hello, creeps. So glad you could join me for my weekly game. My deal. Hacks and chokers are wild. Are you in? Good. So's the man in tonight's terror tale. Except his game is relationships. It's a ghoulish little gamble, I call. Only skin deep. I guess that's one way to wear a guy out. Still, I think Carl and Molly make a hell of a couple. I mean, talk about boo of a kind. Okay, I see your raise, and raise you 20. Call. Now that's a poker face. Looks like it's curtains for me, kiddies. Then again, maybe the Venetian blinds would look better. I don't know. When I started this little makeover, I was pretty excited. I thought a little Slatex paint, some new scream doors, maybe even some scare conditioning. I could turn my little domicile into a regular pied de terror. But I tell you, kiddies, between the dust and the ghost overruns, your pal the Crypt Keeper's going out of his mind! Which is kind of like the woman in tonight's terror tale. It's about a comic book artist who's about to experience a terrible case of deja vu. I call it Whirlpool. Poor Rolanda. All she wanted was another shot. And that's exactly what they gave her. Talk about character assassination. So what do you think, kiddies? Am I ready for Architectural Digest or what? It took a while, but this old haunt is finally coming together. Nice shutters over there. A lovely fright fixture over here. As a matter of fact, I've even started thinking of some new improvements I want to make. And I'm going to use the same contractor. I'm already taking bits. Oh, hello, boils and ghouls. It's me, your favorite creep from the deep, Jacques Cousteau. You're just in time. I'm about to dive into tonight's tale. Care to join me? Good. Then strap on a couple of scare tanks and prepare yourselves for a cold, wet exploration of my favorite kind of marine life. Croakers. Oops. It concerns a couple of boosome buddies who are about to put their relationship to rest. I call it Operation Friendship. Poor Nelson. 1 minute he's in charge, the next he's aghast in his own home. As for me, kiddies, I'm afraid I've given up my water wings for dry land. My producers insist I get a little R and horror. Uh-oh, looks like I've got something. I just love eyes fishing. Thanks, pal. For nothing. I tell you, kiddies, things are tough all over. What with my expenses going up, and suddenly finding out I owe the IRS a fortune, your pal the Crypt Keeper's had to find himself a second job. Still, it's worse for the people in tonight's Terror Tale. It concerns a group of inmates at the local home who've got a few horrid choices of their own to make. I call it revenge is the nuts. That Grunwald. One little problem and he goes right to pieces. At least now we know what's really eating him. As for me, kiddies, I think I've got my money problems licked. I don't know why I didn't think of this sooner. Talk about a killing. Everybody loves finger food. Hey, you want a side of ghoul slaw with that?
My fellow Americans, I'm running for office because I think the political process needs a little stiff competition. It needs noble leadership. It needs someone like me in the White House.
But, you may ask, aren't there a few skeletons in your closet? Sure there are. And a vampire or two, and a werewolf. What of it? At least I'm not like the man in tonight's Terror Tale. He's a fire inspector who's about to learn the difference between rot and wrong. I call it the bribe. Poor Zeller tries to give his kid a shot, and it winds up going to his head. Which is better than if it went to his pocketbook, because government needs to do more and ghost less. We have to make horrid choices and back them up with spending guts. We should demand that... Ooh. Now that's what I call a stump speech. Deck the halls with parts of Charlie, fa la 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 la. Make the Yuletide gross and gnarly, fa la 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 ha ha. Oh, hello, creeps. It's me, your favorite holiday spirit, doing a little Cryptmas decorating. Boy, do I love this time of year. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost nipping at your... Hey, Jack, get away from me! Meow! I I guess he's off my Christmas chopping list. Which brings to mind tonight's terror tale. It's about two martial artists who do some chopping of their own in a tasteless fright to the finish I call the pit. I guess in the end, the choke was on the girls. Choke hold, that is. I don't know about you kiddies, but my money's on Aubrey. I think she's a little fester to the punch. Well, you know what they say. The scream always rises. There, all done. Now I'll have a little eggnog, listen to a few holiday tunes, and wait for Santa Claus to come. Maybe I should throw another Yule log on the fire. I wonder how Yule will feel about that. Raise the tree and bring the ladder.
So then I was over in India, you know, and I whipped up this little monsoon. Man, I must have reaped hundreds that day. Hundreds, just like that.
Really?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Of course, I normally prefer to take souls one at a time, but, you know, I had taken some vacation days, and it was the end of the month, and so, you know how it goes. Oh, by the way, did I mention that I was in Europe? There was an Elvis sighting there, so I figured I'd check it out, but it was just a fat guy in a sequin suit. I took him anyway.
Is this guy boring or what? All he ever talks about is himself. I gotta remember that the next time he comes to town and wants to get together. Oh, really? That's very interesting.
Yes, I thought so too. But enough about me. I want to tell you why I am here.
I know why you're here. To eat my food and drink my liquor. More champagne?
Why, sure. Thanks. Who are you saving the good stuff for? You know, you and I have been friends for a long time, and much as I enjoy these little visits, it seems to me that this tomb is not quite big enough for the both of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
I want to propose a contest between you and me. Winner take all.
And the loser? You're on, pal.
1, 2. My rock beats your scissors.
Damn.
Give me your hand.
Well, kiddies, looks like your pal the Crypt Keeper's in the fright of his life. Death. Which is kind of like the woman in tonight's terror tale. It's a nasty little chopping spree I call... the assassin. That didn't hurt one bit.
Second round.
Go for it. 1, 2, 3. That Janet, she must be a hell of a cook. I don't know about you kiddies, but I found Simone pretty hard to swallow. Personally, I wouldn't have made them into a stew. I think Creep's Suzette would have been much more appropriate. Ready? Well, looks like I won.
Hey, what are you talking about? I am still here. Let's play again. Come on. Double or nothing. Ha.
Take my advice, pal. Quit while you're ahead. I call this one painted into a coroner blues. When I think of you, my heart goes flopsy as I contemplate your sweet autopsy. Your skin is green and blue, whatever would I do without my fine cadaver? The love in which I know I'll fall starts with the unkindest cut of all. Thank you, thank you. They don't call me the creative writing corpse for nothing. Thank you. My next poem is a little experimental number I've been working on. I hope you like it. It's about a real ghoul dude named Clyde, who's about to try a little haiku of his own in a vile verse I call Stared in Horror. Poor Clyde. I guess that's one 12-step program he could have done without. Still, you'll be happy to know, kiddies, that our story has a happy ending. Clyde did manage, after a couple of years, to crawl a little way down the stairs, where he waited for Lily while she grew some. You know what they say? Age before booty. My next poem features a rhyming scream I think you'll find interesting.
Hey, why don't you sit down?
Excuse me, folks. Now that's beat poetry. Oh, hello, kiddies. You're just in time for your driving lesson. Today, we'll be learning about parallel parking and the right way to look behind when hacking up. But first, I thought we'd go over a few common hand signals. This, of course, means you're turning right. And this means you're turning left. And this means... slow down, it's time to watch Tales from the Crypt. Tonight's moving violation concerns a disc jockey who's so cutting edge, he may lose his chap. I call it In the Groove. Poor Gary. Talk about being number one with a bullet. Looks like he'll be the morning man after all. As for me, kiddies, I guess I better start practicing what I preach. I got caught going a little faster than the speed limit, but the officer decided to let me off with a warning. See? It pays to know the ghouls of the road. Greetings, thrill shriekers. Care to join me on the scare lift? Good. Your pal the Crypt Keeper's quite the extreme skier. I just love the feeling of going fester and fester. Talk about exhilarating. Which is kind of how the man in tonight's tale feels. He's just started down a black diamond run of his own in a nasty nugget I call Surprise Party. Poor Ray. Well, at least he went out in a blaze of gory. Still, talk about a pain in the ash.
Hi, Crypty.
As for me, kiddies, I'm about skied out. Not that I didn't have fun, but these boots are killing me. Ow. Ooh. Oh, my. Now that's what I call the agony of defeat. Yeah, kids these days, with their long hair. You can't even tell the boils from the ghouls. And when they do want a cut, they go to one of those fancy salons, like Jose Slaybear or Vidid Sassoon. It's enough to make you terror your hair out. I guess that towel was a little too hot. Still, I think it's a good look for you. Once it's grown out, I'm sure you'll love it. Which brings to mind the young men in tonight's tale. They're about to try a new scare style as well, in a delightful little dye job I call Doctor of Horror. That Charlie, and you thought he was mixed up before. As a matter of fact, I just got a card from Charlie. He went on to open a chain of private clubs for dismembers only. Oh, and Richard went into medicine, specializing in intensive scare. So, I've got a free chair. How about a little trim? I promise I won't take off too much. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Oh, hello, creeps. It's your old pal, the Big Scarehooner, enjoying a little surf and sand. Hey, babe, want me to rub a little suntan lotion on you? Ooh. Boy, do I love the beach. Hey, you! Watch it!
Get a 10!
Boy, I hate getting sand kicked in my face. I'm not your average 98-pound weakling, you know. For one thing, I don't weigh that much. I tell you, kiddies, I'm going to get that guy. Which brings to mind the 2 men in tonight's terror tale. They're on a little shriek and destroy mission of their own, in a nasty undertaking I call Comes the Dawn. The Colonel should be a little more careful who he picks a fight with. Still, I think he'll get used to being hunted for a change, once he gets the fang of it. And if it doesn't work out, he can re-enlist in the Marine Corps. As for me, kiddies, I decided to get even with that bully by showing off some of my surfing prowess. I may not be able to hang 10, but I can sure hang 1. Greetings, Hackenfield fans. I hope you're in the mood for a little fiendly competition. It's that time of fear again. The annual all-crypt die-cathlon. I've been working out like crazy to get ready. This year, I'm really going for the cold, kind of like the woman in tonight's tale. It's a putrid portrait of an up-and-coming young artist that's sure to leave a nasty taste on your palate. I call it... Yeah! 99 and 44 100% pure horror. Looks like Willa's changing her school of painting from Art Nouveau to Ghost Impressionism. That'll get her into Ooze Who. Okay, kiddies, it's time for my big event. Wish me luck. Got it! Ah, the kill of victory. Hello. How are you? I'm Fearest Gup. Hi. Care for a chocolate? You sure? Mummy always said life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes you get a fudge scream. Sometimes you get new guts. Know what else Mummy said? She said, scary is as scary does. Which brings to mind the man in tonight's terror tale. He's just dying to get out of the mess he's in. Literally. It's a little piece of horrid candy I call... You murderer. You know, I kind of feel sorry for Lou. Surely there's got to be an easier way to get an Oscar. I hope my story didn't scare you too much, Mr. Hitchcock. Actually, I'm a very big fan of yours. If you want, you can tell me a story. I guess he knows the pecking order now.